Now it's time, my gorgeous Aries, to make an important decision. It is absolutely perfect time, okay? So this decision which you are going to be thinking about making is just something which has been on your mind for a while now. Well, at least for the last 2 months, but you felt like the time wasn't right, and even more so every single time when you would find yourself thinking about making this important decision, something would always happen, and something would just simply take your attention away as soon as you would start kind of thinking about planning and things like that. Okay, so something would happen, and then you would just be within this element where you would kind of think that this is absolutely not the right time, and it would kind of take its importance away from it. So now you need to understand that the reason why you're going to feel different from the beginning of this week, and when I say you're going to feel different, your energy is going to be different. The air in general, it's going to be much different. I mean that in the best possible way. There is going to be, on one hand, this sense of lightness you're going to feel within the actual energy around you, but then on another hand, at the same time, you're going to feel so much more energy. In fact, you didn't have this beautiful, gorgeous, amazing amount of energy, that you can do so much with it in a while now. So you will be able to recognize this, trust me. So this is gonna kind of reflect on you, where you are gonna, right from the beginning of this week, you're not only gonna feel more energetic, but when it comes to your spirit, when it comes to your soul, when it comes to your mind, I mean, everything is gonna come up, everything is going to slowly but surely come to the surface. And what do I mean by this? I mean that they're gonna be, not only physically you're gonna feel so much energy, but you're also suddenly gonna kind of not only have a lots of little ideas, but suddenly you're gonna be reminded of the certain ideas you've had within the last few months that you've never did anything about. So this is this magical moment that you're actually going to have indeed, because it's going to contribute quite a lot, especially when it comes to you coming out of your shell, coming out of your comfort zone. Okay, so right at the beginning of this week, you are gonna make an important decision. Not only the time it's gonna be absolutely perfect, the time it's gonna be absolutely right, but now this time you are going to make an important decision, and it's to do with something that was on your mind quite a lot over the last 2 months in particular. And this decision that you're gonna make, my gorgeous Erini, it's most certainly gonna be about you starting something. Okay, it's like the beginning of some kind of a project. You starting something, but it's you starting something, but it's a lot to do with continuation from something from before. Do you see what I mean? So you are starting something new, but at the same time, something that means to you so much. This is so personal, my God. So it's something that you're gonna start new, but then again, it's the actual continuation from before. This is so important because, you are going to become extremely determined to actually do this, extremely ambitious, And at the same time, you are, trust me, my gorgeous Erini, you are on the actual path to success. This is very important indeed. And it's basically, something really bad is going to come to an end, something really negative, It's to do with your karma, and it's to do with something negative that happened before within the last about a year or so that kind of prevented you from moving forward in your life, especially when it comes to certain projects, and especially when it comes to starting something new. Now this is brilliant because there is going to be a really interesting information and message that you are going to have, which is going to make you aware of just that, how something bad and something negative has come to an end. But only then, baby, you're going to realize how much was this actually affecting you. So this is brilliant. At the same time, this is marking a really bad and negative stage, slowly but surely coming to an end. that was affecting you to work on your vision, that was affecting you to work on your vision. You see, of course, this is really important, because it's not only about making an important decision, but it's also with the moving on with your life. So when it comes to that important decision, it's about some kind of project that you're going to start and continue with at the same time, and you will kind of know that this is going to kind of take a while. You will know that this is going to be like kind of a hard work, but then again, my goodness, this is going to be absolutely brilliant, because it's going to help you so much to reconnect with yourself, on a really high level. But then on another note, you are doing the right thing, because you are following your heart, and all what you need to do is just follow your spirit, follow your soul, and see where this is going to take you. And that's exactly what you are doing right now. And also on another note, my gorgeous Erini, what else I was going to say, that when it comes to the beginning of this week, there is a very interesting idea that you are going to have, and somebody, nothing to do with this what I've just said, but somebody is really going to inspire you at around the beginning of this week, completely spontaneously. Okay, so maybe you're going to be on your way to the shop, and then suddenly, completely out of blue, something is going to happen. You're going to come across a certain person or a certain group of people. You're going to see something and hear something, and this in itself is going to contribute towards you being inspired by this particular idea. And this idea, it's about like you speeding something up. Okay, it's going to give you an idea how to speed something up in your life. Now this is brilliant, because this is again to do with something that was really kind of bothering you for so long. But on another hand, this in itself, this idea, it's so important for you to take on like almost immediately, because in as little as like about 4 months time, this particular problem and issue is going to come to an end. And this is absolutely brilliant. But this problem and issue, it's a lot to do with something being really, really slowed down. So you're going to speed something up. So it's more about like kind of speeding something up and knowing exactly what this is, and knowing exactly how you're actually going to do this indeed. By the time you get to the mid part of this week, my gorgeous Erini, okay, it's like basically it is gonna be like a bit of disagreement with somebody. I can see a bit of a disagreement with somebody here, but it's more like about you trying to prove some kind of a point to somebody here. You're 1,000,000% right with what you're gonna try to prove to that particular person. It is not going to be a horrible argument or like something nasty. It's more going to be like about like like an intelligent disagreement, but you are going to be coming from the right place. This other person who you're going to be talking to, you need to kind of forgive to, because most certainly that particular person is never going to be able to understand where exactly are you coming from, because maybe there isn't enough depth to them, so it's just something that you really must not take personal whatsoever. But while you're having this disagreement, it's not about having a disagreement. It's not about you trying to prove your point, but it's more about, there is something that you're going to realize. There is something really interesting that you're actually going to realize once this conversation and disagreement comes to an end. And what are you going to realize? It's like kind of going to help you out to like really kind of like, it's going to open your eyes. It's going to be really enlightening moment, because there is something really interesting that you are going to realize through this conversation. And I know this may sound really weird, but somehow you're going to realize, my goodness, there really is an some kind of like end of a stage here. And that in itself, it's really kind of going to contribute towards you seeing things in a different light. But most importantly, when it comes to like you understanding on one hand, which plans do you need to abandon, because this is to do with you realizing an end of a stage here in your life. And that in itself is going to highlight which plans do you need to abandon, but it's also going to like kind of put you in a mode like of a self-discovery, especially when it comes to you kind of carrying on and searching, for the truth. Because you're going to remember, this is going to remind you of something quite bizarre that you kind of learned in general about other things, not about your life, but about about like the world, for example. So this is going to put you in a mode of like a searching for a truth. But at the same time, it's also going to put you in a mode when it comes to you understanding the power of being patient, especially when it comes to something so dear to you, when it comes to your near future. This is all going to be connected like there is no tomorrow, my gorgeous Erini, indeed. By the time you get to the last part of this week, like, oh my God, like a very unusual situation is going to happen. Something really unusual is actually going to happen here. Something is really going to surprise you, especially when it comes to like some kind of, my goodness, some kind of like burdens that you've been actually dealing with. My gorgeous Erinis, do you notice like how many endings this week it's actually going to bring, especially when it comes to certain problems and certain burdens? This in itself, it's a really good sign. This in itself, it's a mind-blowing sign. And it's not only about this week, but it's also like kind of contributing a lot towards what is going to be happening in the actual December. I know I'm talking about the months of December. December is going to be completely different to what you can possibly imagine. How much is going to happen and how much is going to unfold, but most importantly, how much everything was connected to this particular week. You see, because you've been struggling so much, you've been going through a lot, and that kind of like slowed you down on your journey. So now you're coming out of something quite dark and negative, and there is a lot for you to start to look forward to after this moment in time. So this is why, my God, like so many times I'm seeing like some kind of problem and some kind of issue, it's going to come to an end. So exactly now, at around the end of this week, completely unexpected situation here. This is going to blow you away, because this is to do with some kind of burden that you did not think that it's going to come to an end whatsoever. So what is going to happen, it's going to really kind of make you aware of the fact that there's some kind of burden, it's going to come to an end. But here the reason why you're going to feel so surprised, it's only because you did not think that this is going to even come to an end whatsoever. I think you buried this at the back of your mind. You know, sometimes we suppress things, you know, in order to protect ourselves, indeed. So this is what had happened here. You repressed this a little bit, my gorgeous Erini, which is nothing unusual. We do this in order to protect ourselves, which is absolutely fine. But now this is going to really surprise you. Not only that the burden has come to an end, but even more surprising, the certain possibility that you're going to have, which is in itself not only marking the end of some kind of problem, but also now, surprisingly, there are going to be few different possibilities that you are going to be facing. Now you need to be very smart, you need to be very clever, you need to follow your intuition, you need to follow your soul, you need to step back for a little while. You don't have to rush with this whatsoever, but naturally it's going to come to you what particular possibility it's actually the most important right now for you to kind of jump in and like kind of like you know, like for you to take it seriously above everything else, because only one possibility is gonna be like really important, because you will know which possibilities on one hand going to bring you a moment of balance on one hand. On another hand, that particular possibility, it's also going to bring you security and freedom when it comes to so many different aspects of your life, and you're going to find this more rewarding than anything else. That particular possibility is going to be so important for you, because at the same time, you know, this is like, you know, a lot to do with your ability, it's a lot to do with your originality, it's a lot to do with like you having a really fantastic achievement when it comes to that particular possibility. And when it comes to that particular possibility, you will know exactly you are gonna have a really amazing achievement, you know, in as little and 1 year time. You will not believe, I know I'm just going so much with this reading, but you will not believe like where you're actually going to find yourself in just 1 year time, and exactly the same time where we are now. In just exactly 1 year time, you are in November. Next November, this is going to bring like a really amazing achievement, and you are going to probably have this and see this probably one of the biggest achievements of your entire life. I mean, how important is this, my gorgeous Aries, going to be? Okay, my gorgeous Aries, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.